Hello students. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the nominal and real GDP. Nominal and real GDP, they are nowadays used very much to understand the actual and the fluctuation in prices variations in the physical output. So let us now start with the first one, the nominal GDP. Nominal GDP is measured at current prices. It is actually the value of goods and services produced currently at the prices. The prices are considered for that particular year in which they are produced. In this case, if there is any increase in the price of the commodity, even then the GDP show an increasing trend. And if there is any increase in the physical output, then also it shows an increasing trend. Or you can say any change in the price or any change in the physical output will show change in the GDP, maybe in the positive direction or in the negative direction. It is always positive because prices keeps on increasing. There is an inflation in the prices. So due to that, the GDP will show the increase in it. But actually, there may not be any increase in the output produced in that particular year. So to understand the actual increase in the physical output, we have got another concept, that is real GDP. Now this real GDP is measured at the constant prices. What does this constant prices means? It is the year in which we assume that there is no fluctuation in the prices of the commodity. It is free from all the variations or fluctuations in the prices. This is considered one particular year, and that year is taken as base year, and from that base year we try to calculate the value of goods and services of the present year. So there is a difference. Here the year is some other year which is free from all the odds, free from fluctuations, and the goods and services are produced is taken for the current year. So calculation is made on the basis of that particular year's prices for this particular year's or the current year's production. So here is the difference. In this case, it only tells you that actually how much output or goods and services are produced, how much increase or decrease in the total production is being done in this particular year. So this is very clearly indicated in the real GDP. So to convert this nominal into real GDP, we have got a conversion formula. That why do we do it? I mean, conversion is required. Why do we do it? Just to know the actual volume of output produced in a particular year, irrespective of any change in the price. That means there is only physical output increase we have to measure. So no price fluctuation should be involved in it. So we need to calculate the GDP in the real value, and that is done with the help of the formula, that is real GDP is equal to GDP at current prices upon current price index into 100. This current price index is actually the index number which is taken or measured with the help of base and current year's prices. This you have already studied in class 11. So this much is enough that it is an index number. So this is the way how to calculate a real GDP. Now this real GDP is calculated with the help of a current price index. So this price index, in other words, is also known as price deflator, and this, with the application of this price deflator, we can calculate the actual GDP deflator. And what is this GDP deflator? It is the statistical device that measures the average price level of all goods and services that constitute GDP. That means in the GDP, what is the actual amount of goods and services produced, considering the price level to be constant. So to find out the effect of change in the prices in the real output. So this is what you call it as GDP deflator. And how we can calculate it? We can calculate it by dividing the nominal GDP by real GDP and multiplying it with 100. So remember, this is the value which is always in percentage because we are calculating in terms of 100. So this is your GDP deflator. And why do we study this GDP deflator or real GDP? Why? Because GDP and welfare, they are the two different aspects. I mean, if you say that there is any increase in GDP, so it is going to help in increasing the economic growth, and it is going to help in rising the standards of people, or it is going to improve the economic condition of the people. It's not like that. Why? Because again, we need to understand whether this GDP increase is due to the increase in prices or it is due to the actual increase in the physical output. So to eliminate the change in price, we always calculate it in terms of real GDP. And that is why we are talking about that if there is any increase in the GDP, that is nominal GDP, doesn't mean that there is a welfare. So see how it is. Distribution of GDP. The first point you need to know, that is distribution of GDP. Distribution of GDP means if there is any increase in GDP, it doesn't mean that the share of GDP is equally distributed among the people. That means it can be that increase in the GDP is distributed in such a way that only few hands are getting richer and richer, or you can say the share of GDP is distributed to few hands more and very less to major of the population. So if such a condition is there, there will not be any welfare. That means you can say, in other words, that if there is unequal distribution of GDP, it will not lead to welfare. Next is composition of GDP. Composition of GDP is actually, that is, I mean, where from we are getting this GDP. Whether the components of GDP, I mean, like contribution of GDP or the share of GDP is from production of which type of, which commodity, which category of goods are being produced more and their share is more. Maybe it is necessities, maybe it is harmful goods, maybe it is socially boycotted or harmful goods, or maybe destructive goods like war equipments and all. If any increase in the war equipments is there, any increase in the socially damaging goods like your liquor, cigarettes, etc. are there, pan masalas are there, if there is any increase in the production of these type of goods, it will not lead to any increase in the welfare. Why? Because they are going to rather damage the economic situation and social condition of the people. It is not going to provide any kind of economical support. The next one is non-monetary exchange. Non-monetary exchange means that is all the economic activities, if it is not measured in terms of money, then it will not be calculated or it will not be considered in GDP. In our country like India, we do follow barter system. Even today in the agricultural sector, we follow barter system. Goods are exchanged in terms of goods. In the season time, the laborers are provided with the harvest in exchange of the services they are rendering. So that is not accounted in GDP. That is left unaccounted, and thus we cannot say that if there is any decrease or if there is no GDP contribution from that sector, that means there is no welfare. So that is also not considered here in GDP. Such transactions are ignored, and thus we cannot say GDP is the resultant change, or increase in GDP is the resultant reason of welfare. Now, unreported activities. Unreported activities means the transactions which go unnoticed or which are underground, like people, they do not pay taxes, and without paying taxes, they uh, do the transactions. Like if they are going for a registration of property, so what they will do, they will simply give the mark this the rate, which is circle rate, which is decided, and they will sell the property on the market rate. So there is a difference between the circle rate and the market rate. In the same way, there are other aspects also where the brokerages are given in cash, which is not included in the transaction, which is ignored. So such kind of unreported activities, economic activities, also will not lead to welfare, rather it will add to corruption. Next is externalities. Externalities means that is in the production process, uh, some production activities carried out by a particular person, but the effect of that activity of done by a particular person is suffered or it is enjoyed by others in the society. If such a situation is there, this is known as externalities. That means due to the action of one, others may enjoy or others may suffer. Other people of the society may suffer or they may enjoy. Like suppose a particular producer, he uh, uh, purchases a garden of apple or apple orchard. So if he plants apple trees, the honeybees may come there and they may develop honeycombs around in surroundings. This may lead to both positive and negative externalities. Like the honey collectors, they may get free of cost honey because they can come and collect it, which is outside the orchard, and the people passing by that particular orchard may suffer because of the honeybees, because they may bite them. So in either case, the externalities are there. That means because they have not done anything, they have not contributed to the economic activity, but still they have to suffer because of that. So negative externality is, you can say, environmental damage. So this is very good example. Due to the production activities nowadays, great amount of environmental damage is taking place. So you cannot say that there is a welfare on account of increase in GDP. It may rather deteriorate the health conditions of the people. They may suffer due to that. Even when they have got high income, they may have to pay for their health maintenance more. So that is externalities. So both positive as well as negative. Last but not the least is growth rate of population. If the population increases in more rapid rate than the GDP growth rate, then there will not be any welfare. In other words, growth rate is always in the arithmetic progression, whereas population rise is always in geometric progression. So there is a gap. If we do not maintain a match between them, growth rate in GDP will not lead to welfare due to higher growth rate of population. So this is all about your GDP and welfare. So by this, I think it's very, very clear that what is GDP, what is real GDP, what is nominal GDP, and how they are going to contribute in the welfare. There is another concept which is very, very common nowadays, and that is green GNP. That is, green GNP means increase in the gross domestic product plus NFIA, or you can call it as gross national product, without harming the environment. That means if we add on to the production, or if we do productive activity by increasing the output level, we can increase the GDP or GNP. But if we are not damaging the environment, this will be known as green GDP or green GNP. That means more output is produced both domestically or by the normal residents, but without harming the environment. If the environment is not damaged, then it will be known as green GNP or green GDP. And nowadays, that is more emphasized. So this is all about today's video. I think you must have understood. Thank you and bye.